Jackie Robinson's influence on the reformation of baseball in America.
Did you see Jackie Robinson hit that ball? It went zoom.
A life is not important except on the impact it has on other lives. Jackie Robinson.
Segregation throughout America was commonly found throughout all areas of the United States before the Civil Rights era. African Americans and whites were separated in all aspects of life, including restaurants, water fountains, schools, and even sports teams. Jackie Robinson was a prime example of how African Americans were regarded amongst other white athletes. Although Jackie possessed tremendous skill, the color of his skin was a major obstacle in his road to becoming a successful baseball player. The signing of Jackie Robinson in 1945 to the Brooklyn Dodgers changed the sport of baseball forever, breaking the long-standing color barrier implemented by the MLB. Along with Jackie's successes on the field, he was also a well-respected figure in light of the Civil Rights movement. Jackie Robinson was the main reason for the reforming of African Americans in white society. Life is not a spectator sport. If you're going to spend your whole life in the grandstand just watching what goes on, in my opinion, you're wasting your life. Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson was born in Cairo, Georgia in 1919. Jackie's first encounter with racism was faced early on in his life when he and his family were the only black family in the neighborhood. Jackie's entrance in the MLB was important to the black community as they were in need of a hero and because there had not been a black player in the league since the segregation in 1889. Leading up to Jackie's career in the MLB, he attended UCLA, enlisted in the Army, and had a short stint in the league for black players only, the Negro Leagues. Jackie's achievements in the Negro Leagues opened the eyes of many MLB owners, including Branch Rickey, the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers. Branch Rickey devoted his life to baseball as a player, coach, and owner, and he was most famous for his creation of the farm system and the signing of Jackie Robinson. Rickey's plan to bring African American players to the MLB was thought out when he began his tenure with the Dodgers in 1942, and he carried this plan out through the signing of Jackie Robinson. Rickey knew that if he was going to sign an African American player, the player was going to have to be extremely talented and avoid confrontation when subjected to hostility and insults from fans around the league.
The right of every American to first-class citizenship is the most important issue of our time. Jackie Robinson.
In the first conversation between Branch Rickey and Jackie Robinson regarding Jackie playing for the Dodgers, Rickey questions Jackie's ability to react to the way he will be treated. When asked by Rickey what he would do if a player punched him in the face, Jackie replied, "Mr. Rickey, I've got 2 cheeks. Is that it?" Jackie was able to handle the adversity he faced with a very cool demeanor, and this eventually led to Americans accepting Jackie for the outstanding player and person he was.
I'm not concerned with your liking or disliking of me. All I ask is that you respect me as a human being. Jackie Robinson.
The initial impact that Jackie Robinson had during his entrance into the MLB was for the most part negative. Economically, many major league teams rented their stadiums to Negro League teams while they were on the road, and this was a significant part of the team's income. Many major league owners feared that if the Negro League was to disband, the league would lose rental revenue, and Jackie's entrance was the catalyst to this fear. One positive impact economically to the arrival of Jackie was that stadiums would be at full occupancy to both root against him and see what the first African American in the MLB could do.
There's not an American in this country free until every one of us is free. Jackie Robinson.
As more and more fans came to see how well Jackie was playing, the racism and insults increased. When his career first started, even some of the players on his team displayed disliking towards him, but that hate soon disappeared as they accepted Jackie for the great person and player he was. Along with the players, the Brooklyn Dodger fans were not accepting of Jackie, but like the players, they eventually opened up to him. However, when the team was on the road, the mood was completely different. Fans of opposing teams would taunt, racially insult, throw things, and spit at Jackie when he came on the field. Jackie continued to persevere through the disrespectful way he was being treated and was successful because of it.
I guess you'd call me an independent since I've never identified myself with one party or another in politics. I always decide my vote by taking as careful a look as I can at the actual candidates and issues themselves, no matter what party the label. Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson's impact reached out further than the stands of the baseball field. His successes on the field were carried out into the political world as well. Jackie Robinson established great relationships with some of the most notorious political figures at the time, including Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and presidents in office before the Civil Rights Act. He exchanged letters with these presidents throughout his lifetime, pleading his stand on civil rights. In a letter to President Ronald Reagan, Jackie urges the president, respectfully, to do everything he possibly can to make a change quickly. He informed the president that the black community has been waiting 150 years for a change, and they could no longer be patient. He was able to express his political opinions through a column he wrote for the New York Post, in which he supported President Richard Nixon's campaign versus President Kennedy's. He felt Kennedy was uncommitted and uneducated on civil rights, and that Nixon would serve African Americans better. His vigilance against racial wrongdoing was one of his legacies remembered by all Americans.
He led America by example. He reminded our people of what was right and reminded them of what was wrong. I think it can be safely said that Jackie Robinson made the United States a better nation. American League President Gene Buttigieg.
Jackie's most renowned contribution to America was his impact on the reformation of the MLB to go from being a whites-only league to a league of mixed races. Jackie was acknowledged by the MLB by having his number 42 jersey retired in every single ballpark across the country. The number 42 is the only number in the MLB that cannot be worn by any player, and it is in honor of Jackie and all that he did for the game. Another commemoration to Jackie is the Jackie Robinson Rotunda located in Citi Field. The rotunda honors Jackie, and it is a great way of showing the appreciation people still have for Jackie 40 years later. Although his accomplishments in the game of baseball were a tremendous feat, his accomplishments in society were just as impressive. The legacy Jackie Robinson left was one he and his family take great pride in and will never be forgotten by any American. It wasn't necessarily the reformation Jackie was responsible for that will be remembered, rather than the way in which he was able to achieve this reformation is what really should be noted by all Americans. By the actions of Jackie, he was able to make a substantial change in the game of baseball and the American society. Jackie has had an immense impact on every American of his generation and every American since.
He struck a mighty blow for equality, freedom, and the American way of life. Jackie Robinson was a good citizen, a great man, and a true American champion. President Ronald Reagan.